Well, welcome to the Fifth Dimensional Academy of Higher Consciousness. Today is February 6th, and we're broadcasting from Los Angeles. Once again, we made it. Even though there was an accident on the freeway, I contacted Shishi. I told Shishi that let everybody know that we're going to be half an hour late. So anyway, I'm glad everyone's here. So we're going to do a short meditation today. I'm going to mute everybody because the device is making noises. So, but you're welcome to, for those of you who are new, you can write to me on the chat box and I'll answer your question after the meditation. So for now, we're going to mute everyone. Okie dokie. So why don't we just do a simple meditation, and that works for everybody. We just do an easy one. Simply close your eyes and you bring your attention on your third eye and simply putting your attention here. Now, that doesn't mean you're doing positive visualization, positive thinking, or anything like that. You're simply bringing your attention to one point, and that's it. And as you have your attention on one point, we begin to breathe a little deeper and more comfortable. So you have your attention on this point, you're breathing in and out. And naturally, your body goes into a very relaxed state when you do that. And we just roll with it without any agendas. And just gently breathe in and out and allow your thoughts to travel through your mind without manipulating them or having your attention on them either. You're simply here, you're present, and your attention is on one pointedness. and things come and go. Just simply be here. Your focus is on one point. You allow your thoughts to travel through. And you're gently breathing in and out. Take a deep breath. And now as you're breathing in and out, bring your attention on your breath. Put your attention on your breathing. Slowly, slowly come back. Come back here. Miss Shishi,
Yeah.
Can you come over for a second, please? Can you connect my phone to your your new internet, please? So
It's going to take a second because it's a complex Wi-Fi password.
Yeah.
On my phone on a picture, so.
No problem. So slowly, slowly we come back here. And we're back in our center again after the meditation we did. And that's the very purpose of the meditation. It's to get us outside of this busy mind, all the agendas we have in our mind, all the places we have to be, people we have to call, things we need to do, as well as the mind going back to the past or worrying about future. All the story, my story, the story that we carry, whatever the story is. And we all have our own stories. So the mind goes to all these different places. And when you bring your attention back into the center, whether your attention is on your third eye or your attention is on your breath, you're breathing, you're in this place. It means that it brings you back into your center. You're getting centered again. And as your just attention is on one pointedness, so gradually, thank you, your mind mellows down. Things become quiet, your heartbeat changes, and you start to gradually go beyond the thinking mind. You go into this neutral zone, this place that is very quiet. And that's why we feel very good about it. We feel at home. Because that's the very true nature of us. The true nature of us is peace. It's love, it's tranquility, calmness. That's our nature. And meditation helps us to go back into this place, a natural state, which is very tranquil. So it's a method to do the restoration of tranquility within again, bringing us back to that place. Now, so we have one person ask us, Sophia, she asked about forgiveness and why is it difficult to forgive? And how can we be in this place? How can we reach this place within ourselves that we can forgive? And of course, I'm going to just turn on my Facebook Live now that and then we can get into it. All right, so we talk about forgiveness. First of all, forgiveness is really a thought, isn't it? I mean, when you start doing the work and you're practicing and you begin to see that we're being ruled most of our lives by thoughts and our feelings, that we're identifying to our thoughts as if they're real, and this as if they are who we are, because we don't know anything else. That's how we've been programmed and we've been brought up. So we're very much identified to our thinking mind. So naturally, the entire race, human race, has been hypnotized to believe that we are our thinking mind. This is who I am. That's my identity, whatever I'm thinking. And my thoughts, I can have good thoughts, I can have bad thoughts, I can have thoughts that I'm worrying and I'm in anxiety. I can have loving thoughts, thinking about something I like, or also the thoughts come with emotions. Now, sometimes emotions come first and then the thought comes after that. Sometimes the thought comes and the emotion follows that. But let's say, for example, I'll give you an example. A thought comes of something has happened to you in your childhood or in the past or in a relationship we had with somebody, whatever the story is. And so you start thinking about this. And then these emotions come of pain or anxiety or jealousy in relation with the thought that you just came up for you. And now you're feeling pain and you start to suffer. Now, sometimes it's vice versa. Now, you're driving down the freeway, you're listening to some music, and a melancholy song comes on. And this song reminds you of your high school sweetheart, or it reminds you of somebody you were once in love with, and she broke up with you, and you went through a heartache. So now you're hearing this song, and the emotion starts to come, and you're feeling all those feelings you used to go through, and then you start thinking about the person. So, and now you're in some state of melancholy or pain or sadness or whatever. So basically that's how it works. Now, the forgiveness is basically, it's another thought, that a thought passes through my mind that I'm angry at this person, or I hate this person, or somebody has hurt me and I can't forgive them. Where is forgiveness? If you want to examine it, where does forgiveness happen? Where does it come from? It's just basically a thought traveling through our mind that I do forgive someone or I don't forgive someone. Where else is it? If you examine it, is it something like shows up in my forehead, written forgiveness? It comes out as a pimple, or a rash on my forehead that I'm not forgiving someone or I'm forgiving someone. Does it come in mail? Like I received some mail from Department of Forgiveness? Where does it come from? It's a thought, or it's an emotion, a feeling, and it comes and goes. Ultimately, forgiveness, if we go even deeper into it and want to see the root cause of being forgiving or not being forgiving, is that am I able to forgive myself? I would look at it in that way. Can I forgive myself? Number one is coming back to this place within myself always. Can I forgive myself for whatever I've done, whatever I've gone through, whatever is happening with me? Secondly is to realize that everything is connected to everything. And it's really forgiving somebody. That somebody is not outside of myself. It's not separated from me. That somebody is a part of myself. It's an aspect of myself. Because everything is a part of everything. And there's no separation. Also, in the same time, is the realization and looking in to shifting your attention and consciousness from being a victim, that someone's done something bad to me, whatever the situation is. Let's say sexually I've been abused, for example, or I was in some sort of business and my business partner cheated me and he stole money from me, or I've been deceived by somebody. They deceived me. They made me feel like they're really in love with me and they want to make a life with me, but they were lying. The whole thing was a story that was created, and it wasn't real. So now, majority of us in our lives, we take the victim stand. We become a victim, that something has happened to us. Someone has cheated me, stole from me, broken my heart, they abused me sexually, and we become the victim. But what I've discovered is the key is to turn the poison into medicine, and turning an unfortunate experience, an event that has happened, into a winning situation by shifting my attention that whatever has happened to me in my life, if someone has cheated me, they've lied to me, they've stolen from me, is for me to look at it as being grateful for that experience. Thank God that I was prisoned in this political prison, and what I went through. Thank God that I went through a heartbreak, and the girl I loved, she left me. And so instead of me being a victim, I'm looking at it from a complete different perspective and being grateful for the experience I've had. Because the experience, the pain that I had to go through, I got hit and some kind of damage has been inflicted, that it seems like a damage. And this hit that I took, it makes me become who I am. It makes me become more aware and more awake, and forces me to reflect on myself, forces me to look at the hidden parts of myself that I don't want to look at. Because that's what happens when you get cheated, when you get betrayed, when something happens of that nature, that you feel like you've been victimized. It forces you to go deeper inside and take a look at yourself, reflect. Now, a conscious person would do that. Other people, majority of people on the planet, because they're not working on themselves and there's no awareness, there's no self-awareness, they don't look at it that way. They look at it that they've been a victim, because they look at the world as there is the other. There are others and there's me, and others and I were separated from each other and we're not one. It's them and it's me. But someone who has come to consciousness and they worked on themselves and they've expanded the awareness, they clearly start to see that there is no other. There's no other. And the ones that they appear to be separated from myself, they are a part of me. The entire existence is a part of me. I am always looking at myself, and there is no other person. I'm looking at aspects of myself. And therefore, if something happens unpleasant to me, it's a reflection, and it's something that I need to look at. Something I need to experience. Obviously, if it happens to me, whatever happens to me, is something I need to go through to learn from it. And it's a challenge. It forces you to go beyond the idea of yourself, to stretch yourself, to expand through a challenge that has happened for you in your life. And getting the lesson that you need to learn from it, and looking at it as a blessing, having gratitude towards it, rather than being a victim. because that's what normally we do. We become the victim, and we don't take responsibility for what has happened to us. So you can go to different events in your life that things have happened to you and look at it, examine it, and see what have you learned from each event that has happened to you. All the things that you've been victimized, all the things, all the wrongdoing that has happened to you through different people. You go back and you look at it. And you make that a practice. You know, you can spend this coming week looking at it and go back. Okay, this happened. They cheated me, they stole money from me. Or someone lied to me. I was in a relationship with somebody. I've been married to this man or woman, and he started seeing somebody else and was lying to me while he or she was with me and had an affair with someone else. Okay, so what did I learn from this? It was a very painful discovery. But what did I learn from it? It forced me to look at something. What did I have to go through? Was I projecting happiness on someone else that it forced me not to do it? Was I projecting that a man or a woman can make me happy and my life is depending on this person? And by them cheating on me or leaving me, they forced me to look at something deeper. So, and then because pain, unpleasant experiences that cause us pain, those are the experiences that really help us to grow. And of course, we can have different approaches to it. I can have an approach as being a victim and putting my finger on other people, or I can have the approach of turning this unpleasant situation, which is a poison, into medicine. And looking for the positive parts of it, looking for the teachings of whatever I had to learn from it. And then I can just be grateful for it. Doesn't mean like I want people to cheat me every day, but it just puts me in this situation to learn of what did I learn from this situation. And normally is challenges, if you start to look at it and have the right approach and start to develop this attitude that they're actually gifts, then something changes and there is a transformation that's begin to take place in your life. And that transformation ultimately helps you to give up the idea that we get really invested into results of things, and we're getting into a heavy investment that I'm going to be doing this because I want this thing to come out of it. So, and if I don't get what I want, then I'm going to be very miserable. I'm going to be very disappointed. So we start investing into things because we want certain results. And when life doesn't go our way, it goes in a different direction, we suffer and we're heavily disappointed. And it creates suffering. Or if we begin to train our psyche, our mind, our attitude in life, that we're not invested in any results. I mean, yes, of course, I want to be successful. Yes, I want to be loved. Yes, I want good things in my life, naturally. But if I'm really investing in certain things and things don't go that way, which happens in life, a lot of times things don't go your way. And then I've developed this attitude that if something goes my way, I'm very happy, I'm very satisfied, I'm very excited. But if it doesn't go my way, I'm still fine. And I'm okay. Just because it didn't go my way. I'm not going to be suffering. Because existence has its own agenda. Life has its own agenda. Life is going to do what it wants to do. Whether it's going to be aligned with your goals and wishes and desires or not, it will do what it wants to do. So we have to learn and develop this ability of flexibility to go with life and to be surrendered to what life is going to present. The final say is life. So can I be surrendered to the final say? Yeah, sometimes something happens, I don't like it. I'm going to do my best to change it, adjust it, manipulate it to go my way, and I'll do the best I can. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it may happen, it may not happen. And if it doesn't happen, what do I do? Am I going to sit down and cry all the time and just be upset and starts just complaining and being a victim? Or am I just going to surrender to what has happened and move on? Move on to the next thing. And if you pay attention to it, you're going to see that this change in attitude will either put you in a position of freedom or it will put you in a position of suffering. Look at it. It happens every day. I mean, that's an interesting part of life because the schooling of life never ends. And it's not like, okay, you receive this teachings one time and, oh, I missed it. I didn't catch on that. And I missed it. I went through a situation that somebody cheated me and I didn't take advantage of the lessons, and I went through all this being a victim, and I missed out. And I was angry, and I reacted, all of those things. Well, guess what? Life's going to give you another opportunity. Almost every day you get an opportunity. And it will repeat itself and repeat itself because it's never going to end until you master You master yourself. And it doesn't mean it's going to end even after you master yourself. It's still going to happen, but it won't bother you because you're not invested. You have adopted this attitude of accepting what is. You do your best to make something to go your way. But if it doesn't, you're accepting it 100% and embracing it for the direction that life has chosen for it to go. Because life has been here much longer than you and I. So life knows a lot better than you and I. We've only been here for a number of years, but life has been here ever since the ever since. So it's got a much higher wisdom than all of us combined together with very limited experiences we've had in this life. Now, I'm not talking about past lives, and I'm not talking about future. I'm talking about this one right now, which is a handful by itself. Let's figure this one out and forget about the rest of them for now. Okay, so let's see, there's a couple questions here on our chat box, and let's see what we got. Just information, my sure has been. Okay, so anybody has a question or wants to share with us? And Sophia, where are you? Okay, there you are. I'm gonna unmute you, Sophia. Let's see. Did you get the answer that satisfies you, or?
My situation is a little bit different. I don't want to talk about it personally because it's my question, and I think that everybody may get bored of my question, personal question. So
Okay.
just I want to ask you, last time you told the process of feeling this feeling that I'm being abandoned is fear, anger, and hatred. Yeah.
Right. Well, hold on a second. Just 1 minute, Sophia, before we move on. In regards to your first question, you talked about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just want to make sure we're clear about this part. I'm
Okay.
sure your situation is different because every situation is different. But do you understand what I talked about regarding forgiveness?
Yes.
Right.
Just I don't feel being a victim at all.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Right.
Because I was really responsible.
Yeah, so let's keep this clear. You don't feel like you're a victim. Something has happened to you that you're bitter about it. Whatever the situation, we don't need to get into the details of it. But someone has cheated you or someone has done wrongdoing to you, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and you have a hard time forgiving them.
Yes.
Right. And so let's clear this part. When we say forgiving somebody, does it mean what? You're going to date them again and go out with them? You're going to let them back in your life? You're going to give them, entrust them with your secrets? Or simply you come to this place that in your own heart and your mind, you forgive them and you move on with your life?
Unfortunately, she is She is a member of my family
Okay.
and very dear to me.
Okay.
Unless I know that she just trying to harm me.
Right.
But still, I just was keep going and helping, and I trying to have this keep this relationship. Now I'm at the point that I have to put her away from my life, and
Right.
this feeling make me like feel guilty,
Right.
because I don't want to put her out from my
Right.
life.
Right.
And
Okay.
I did it last time, 10
Right.
days ago. This happened to me. I told, I don't want to talk with you. I don't want to have anything with any affair
Right.
with you. So this make me very guilty, because family
Right.
is very
I get
important.
it. So you're dealing with guilt feelings.
Yeah, after that, because I felt responsible for this
I
relationship.
understand. You made a decision. Well, let's get it clear. So sometimes in life, you have to put someone away. You gotta push them away out of your life because they're hurting you.
Yeah, but this make me feel guilty. What
Yeah,
can I
I
do with
understand.
this?
Of course. Now there's a feeling of guilt rising inside you.
Yeah,
Naturally you feel whatever, regretful or guilty or whatever, or maybe very happy. Something rises. So all right, so let's say you decided to put this person away and you told them that, look, i'm I'm cutting off my relationship with you for whatever period of time, and then you feel guilty.
mm-hmm.
So let me ask you something right now. Do you feel guilty in this moment?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So is this guilt feeling with you all the time? I mean, from the time you wake up in the morning till evening time, do you feel guilty, or it comes and goes when you're thinking about this person?
The first 7 days, that guilt was with me all the time. But
Right.
now it's getting better because
Right.
I just
Right.
come over.
Right. Exactly. But I'm talking about right now. Do you feel guilty?
I feel sorry for her.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not really feeling guilty in this very moment. So because you had to really think about it, what you feel. So
No,
obviously the guilt feeling is not there right now.
not really.
No. So, which leads us to another thing that I would like to talk to you. I mean, some of you have heard this before, but I guess it's a good time to been thinking about talking about it, because I had talked about it before, but I haven't talked about it lately. So I think it's good time to get back into this for those of you who are new. So this is what we do with the thoughts or feelings. Let's start with the feelings first. And that's going to make it help you, all of you, having the tools that what you do with whatever feeling that rises. Let's say all of a sudden the guilt, you get up in the morning and there is guilt. And instead of telling yourself, you make a practice with this. This requires practice. Then instead of telling yourself, I feel so guilty, I'm so guilty, you tell yourself, guilt is visiting you. Guilt is here. The feeling of guiltiness is here, visiting. and you feel it, you're not trying to push it away, you're not trying to deny it, you're not trying to do positive visualization or positive thinking by pumping yourself that you don't feel guilty. You're simply acknowledging it, and then it goes away. It disappears. But let's say you get up in the morning and you're feeling depressed. You wake up, the weather is really bad outside, you have a lot of things to do, you got some bad news, and you have this feeling like you're depressed, and you wake up in the morning and you're down, and you hear yourself saying, I feel so depressed. And same thing, you simply tell yourself, depression is here, depression is visiting me. You don't tell yourself, I'm depressed. And you're simply feeling the depression, and you acknowledge its presence, and then it goes away. Then the next thing comes, anxiety. All of a sudden you feel very anxious, and there's big anxiety. Hold on a second. Shishi, honey, can you stop? I don't know what you're doing. You're making a lot of noise. Thank you. Anxiety comes. You get up, or some news come, you get some news and you're feeling this deep anxiety. Something happened. For example, Donald Trump just announced that they're going to be invading North Korea, or they're going to be invading, or there's a war coming, or you just heard in the news that there's a new disease has been discovered and is killing everybody, and all of a sudden you're getting this anxiety feelings, you know? Like every time you watch the news, it does that. It gives you the anxiety about something. And you do the same thing. You tell yourself, anxiety is here. You're experiencing it, you're feeling it, it takes you over, you know, you get contracted, you're not comfortable. We're not trying to push it away. This is not trying to think positive or think or visualize something good, or resisting what you're feeling, okay? I need to make sure you understand that. I'm not teaching you to resist your feeling or change your feeling. I'm simply sharing with you, you acknowledge it. You tell yourself, anxiety, fear is here. It's visiting me. You don't say,
what if it wants to stay with me?
yeah, well, you don't say, you don't say, just pay attention to this. You don't say, I'm afraid. You don't say, I am guilty. You don't say, I am sad. You don't say, I am depressed. You're not saying you are depressed, you are sad, you feel guilty, or you're in anxiety. You say, anxiety is visiting me. It's a visitation of an emotion. It's a visitation of a state. Sadness is here, it's visiting, it's a guest. It's passing through. And the moment that you acknowledge that whatever emotion it is, it's visiting you, you have created a separation with that emotion. You're no longer that emotion, you become the witness of that emotion. You're witnessing, you're observing an emotion visiting you. Now, whether it's guilt, whether it's anger, whether it's hate, whether it's sorrow, whether it's happiness, it's a sexual desire, feeling. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is, you're simply acknowledging its presence. You're acknowledging that it's here. And you feel it. You feel it when it's happening. Because you don't have a choice of not feeling what is happening with you in the moment. You can't decide in the moment when anxiety is happening and fear is happening, you can't decide that you don't want to feel fear or anxiety. You don't have that choice. It's impossible. When an emotion comes, you have to feel it. There's no ifs or buts or personal free will of saying, I don't want to feel sad. Sadness takes over, and it's there and it's real. Fear comes and takes over. But what you can do is you can say, it's visiting me, instead of saying, I am sad. I feel guilty. I am guilty. Instead of saying that, you say, guilty is here. Guilty is visiting me. And what happens is the moment you acknowledge the feeling, the moment you acknowledge its presence, a separation happens, a crack. It could be a millimeter, it could be a little crack, it could be a big crack. A crack happens and separates you from that emotion. And so you're announcing to the existence, you're announcing to yourself that I am the observer, I am the witness, I am consciousness, I am awareness, I'm here, I am watching, I'm the witness of emotions passing by. And this emotion is passing by me. When it's here, it takes over. And I have to feel it. But I'm not it. I'm the awareness of it, but I'm not that emotion. I am not anger. I'm the observer and the witness of the anger. I'm the experiencer, if I don't even know that's the right word. I'm the one who's experiencing anger, but I'm not angry. But I'm experiencing anger in this moment, but I'm not anger. That's what happens when you do that. And then that emotion has no power over you. It passes by, it goes away. Because you are not your emotions. You've never been any of your emotions your entire life, and you've never been any of your thoughts for your entire life. You're the one who witnesses your thoughts and witnesses your emotions. They all come and go through you, but you're not it. Do you know why? Anybody? Do you know why you're not your thoughts? Huh, Sophie?
Because we are observing them.
Yes, you're observing them. Exactly. So if you can observe something, then you cannot be that thing. It becomes an object. Thoughts are just objects. They're another form of object passing through your mind. And they're being observed by you. You're observing your thoughts because they're passing through. You're the witness. You're the observer. Everything else is passing through you. That's why you can look at your mind and your thoughts and say, oh my God, my mind is very busy today. There's a lot of thoughts in my mind. Because you can observe your thoughts. It's the same way that it's like being the sky. Imagine that you are the blue sky. You're the blue sky. And clouds are passing through you. How many bad weather have you witnessed in your life? How many bad days the weather we have had with the weather? Like there's thunderstorms, hail, snow, rainy, windy, all kinds of stuff, especially if you live in Europe. You witness a lot of bad weather. But then what happens when everything goes away? All the clouds, all the storms, everything goes away, and you're looking, what do you see? You see the blue sky. The blue sky is always blue. The weather did not affect the blue sky. No matter how bad the weather could be, it doesn't affect the blue sky. What it affects is that you cannot see the blue sky. It affects your vision of seeing the blue sky because the clouds are between you and the blue sky, so you can't see the blue sky. But it doesn't affect the blue sky, and it doesn't affect your ability of observation. You still can observe. It doesn't matter how shitty is the weather today. It doesn't affect the blue sky. It doesn't affect your ability of observation. So it doesn't matter what emotion you experience. The emotion got experienced and witnessed by the observer, which is you. You're the observer, and the emotion is passing through you, and when it goes, you're still here, and the emotion goes. That's why there's no emotion that you hold for all of your life. They all come and go. You know? Well, people ask you, what do you want? I say, well, I want to be happy. Well, I want to be happy every moment of my life. But is this how life is? Are you happy every moment of your life? You know, you're very happy. Then something happens. I'm talking about superficial happiness. I'm talking about the happiness of expression of this moment of, I'm so happy, wow, everything is great. But then tomorrow I get bad news and then I don't feel this way. I hear somebody I love died. So I can't be like, oh, life is so great, I love it, but my beloved friend just died. So I can't express this feeling that I'm very happy because that's not what's happening. I'm sad now. So no one can say, I'm happy all the time. Not that kind of happiness. The wisdom of happiness is different than that superficial, in a moment happiness. We're talking about two different things. Therefore, you can't be sad every moment of your life either. You cannot be in anxiety every single moment in your life. You cannot be feeling guilty every single moment of your life. They come and go. And they get observed and experienced by the witness, by the person who is here, which is you. Everything else comes and goes. So if something comes and goes all the time, and you are the blue sky, all these clouds go through you, what do they do to you? What do clouds do to the sky? Do they scratch the blue sky? Does it make the blue sky pink, purple, or scratchy? You know, when you drop your iPhone and you don't have the screen protected and you get scratches on your screen of your phone? Well, we don't get any scratches on sky, no matter how many times things happen to it. Now the clouds go away, then there's airplanes flying through the sky and they're putting their mark. Can the sky say, I don't want any airplanes flying through me? I hate airplanes. The sky doesn't say anything. The sky remains the sky and it's blue, airplanes traveling through it. Then the next day there's a flock of birds traveling through the sky. And the sky says, oh, I really like birds. I only want birds to travel through me. But the sky doesn't have a choice. It can't decide who travels through it. Neither do you. You can't choose your thoughts. You can't choose your emotions. And so it's really a waste of your time trying to go to all these different schools, these workshops, these techniques, these other different mumbo jumbo, trying to figure out how I can control my thinking mind and how I can control my emotions, because they just don't work. Instead of remembering who you are, which doesn't require any effort, you don't try to get to it, you don't try to do anything for it, because it's your natural state. And natural state is to be aware. Okay, I'm using the word awareness. You are awareness. So you're aware of what is going on in your head. You're aware of what's going on in your emotions. You're aware of what's going on in your body. And you're aware of what's going on in your surrounding, because your job is to be aware. You don't like the word awareness. Let's say witness. You are the witness. You're witnessing your thoughts. You can watch your thoughts. You can pay attention and see what's going on in my mind. You are aware, you witness, you observe what is going on, your emotions. You can't, obviously, if you're sad, you don't need to go and read a book from Yogananda that you are sad. It's very clear. If you're jealous, you don't need to come to me and take a course with me to teach you what jealousy is. You're already jealous, and you know it. No one needs to tell you that, because you're experiencing it. You don't need help. When a strong emotion rises in you, you're very well aware of it. And then what happens? It goes away. Well, we're trained to think we are our emotions. So what happens? We experience guilt and we think we're our guilt. And now the whole thing snowballs, because this mind-fucking process starts to happen. And that's what we do. We mind-fuck. And then we start to suffer, because another thought comes, I shouldn't be feeling guilty. I should be feeling neutral. If I was an enlightened being, I would never be sad. If I was an awake being, I would never get jealous. My girlfriend was just flirting with my best friend. In fact, they were getting very intimate, and I started to feel jealous. Natural feeling rises. You start to feel a little jealous or protective or feeling abandoned or whatever, or you're getting angry. Now I can go spend a lifetime to block that feeling, or I can just simply be an observer of this emotion passing through, and then it's gone. And it's effortless, because I don't have to put any effort in simply being aware. It's my natural state, because I cannot not be aware. I'm always aware. It's effortless. So why don't we recognize this part of ourselves and be done? And it requires zero work. It's the recognition of a space which is already here. And that is our natural state of being. Pure awareness, pure witness, pure observer. Because this is what you did all of your life. You've always been observing your thoughts, your emotions, and the body. You've always been observing it. The only thing is, no one ever taught you that. No one ever hold your hand and make you pay attention to the one which is aware and is observing. It wasn't a part of our training. So my suggestion to you, my dear sister Sophia, is that you had to make a decision because someone is damaging you, and someone's not healthy to be in your life. And that's going to happen a lot in our lives, that we have to cut someone off. That's how it is, you know? And you can still hold them in your heart. You can still have love for them in your heart. And in your heart, you forgive them. But you don't have to hang out with them, because it's an unhealthy situation. And it's not serving you. But there's no guilt feeling. And if guilt rises and you feel the guilt in that moment, just acknowledge the presence of the guilt. Feel guilty. It's okay. And then it goes away. And then when the guilt feeling goes away, what's left? Every time we feel a strong emotion, that emotion rises, whatever that is. After it goes away, what happens? There is peace, and silence comes. You come back into your state, original presence, because it's like a big cloud, you know? There's a big, heavy, dark cloud is going through the sky, and it is thunderstorm and severe wind and snow and hail and everything. But when it goes away, what happens? You see the blue sky. And it's very calm, and nothing's going on. But you don't do anything about it. You don't try to force an emotion to go away. You simply acknowledge its presence, that it's here. And once the moment you acknowledge its presence, it has no power over you. Because now there is awareness. You have become aware that you're the awareness of an emotion, whatever that is, but you're not it. Therefore, you are free.
Thanks, Zarathustra.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, my dear.
Helped a lot.
Yeah, you make that a practice. Let's everybody do this as a practice till next week, and then we talk about it. Oh, by the way, Ms. Shishi,
Yes.
maybe we do the academy next Wednesday instead, because the Conscious Life Expo, I have an event on Monday evening from 8 till 10:30 at night. So maybe I get a day rest and then we do the academy on Wednesday. Is that okay with everyone? Can we do the academy next Wednesday instead? Yeah. Right. That would be great. Yeah. For those of you who live in California, Conscious Life Expo is coming up. It's going to be February 9th, which is on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and 3 days at LAX Hilton is the expo, and I will be attending. And I'm having every day I have an event. So those of you who would like to come to a live event, and also there's other teachers, it's a great opportunity. It's such a great vibe at the expo. It's very magic, really magical, and a lot of beautiful people come to the expo, and it's a great place to connect and find like-minded friends and family. So I'll be at the expo here in Los Angeles, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then and you can watch the expo. They offer live streaming. They started doing that in the past couple of years. That you can go on my website, and through my website you can register and you can watch the expo live and pick and choose the events you want to participate. There's many great teachers who attend this expo, and so many, a variety of different topics, talking about different things, from healing to lost worlds and future stuff, and UFO and crystals and all kinds of things. Shishi, you know, well, what else am I missing? Psychic work and Star Brothers and Sisters and a lot of different things. Whatever you fancy. Angel readings and angels, and there's all kinds of different topics that you can just, you can go through the booklet of the Conscious Life Expo and pick and choose what you like to be watching and checking out, listening to different teachers. What's that?
Level 1 and 2 in LA.
Yeah, and so anyway, these are, I also, so I'm going to be offering 3 events at Conscious Life Expo on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then on Monday I have a post-conference workshop for 2 hours. That's going to be Monday evening. And then followed by next, on Sunday, February 18th, I have at a place called Gateway, the portal of Gateway, and I'm offering, this is a free talk that I offer. It's from 5 to 7:30 in the evening. You're welcome to come and join us. And then followed by February 22nd, I have a transformational shamanic group healing event at the same location. And March 2nd to March 6th, I'm offering the healing training program, level 1 and 2, 5th dimensional quantum healing training program. I will be offering that here in LA. So my website is zarathustra.tv, and feel free to reach out on Facebook or through the Academy page on Facebook, or send us an email or come on our website. So next Academy, we're going to switch it to Wednesday. That will give me a little bit time to rest, because this coming weekend is going to be very intense and the expo is full on. So I want to be fresh and for you regarding the Academy. So I think it's good if we put it on Wednesday. So Tuesday gives me a chance to rest. Feel free to write to us if you have any questions through the Academy page, or you can email it to us, and then we'll address it next week. In the meantime, between now and next Wednesday, our homework is going to be that every time a strong emotion rises for you, I would like you, I mean, this is going to have to be your lifetime practice. And after a while, once you do this regularly, it becomes your second nature. And you don't have to think about it. But whatever rises for you, you get up in the morning and you're feeling depressed, or some bad news come during the day, something happens. So you simply acknowledge that feeling. That's all you do. You acknowledge that feeling is here and feel it, okay? I want to be very clear about this. This is not about numbing yourself, pushing the feeling away, pretending it's not there. You do feel the feeling is there. If you're sad, feel sad. If you're upset, be upset. If you're angry, be angry. This is not about pushing the feeling away. This is just your relationship with the feeling changes. Instead of saying that I am sad, you tell yourself sadness is here, visiting. Instead of saying that you're guilty, you tell yourself guilt is here and it's visiting. And you feel it, and then it goes away. All right, my dear friends, namaste. Lots of love to all of you, and looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday. So long. Bye-bye.